Hi everybody. Sorry, this is Ebonie that's speaking right now. My voice is gone, but the show must go on. So, you guys sit back, relax. You ready for your breakthrough?
20 seconds.
Hi Sissy. I promise this is Ebonie talking.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to the show. This is Ebonie Speaks, and today I have a wonderful guest, Dr. Ticily Medley.
Thanks for having me, Ebonie.
I'm thankful that you're actually here today. And you guys know that I just like to have fun. Of course, I am a giggle box. I like to giggle and laugh. It just shows that I am just always happy. So we're gonna. I thank everyone for responding. You know, I was sending out some posts about responding about the different stigmas and things like that regarding life coaching and personal coaching. And I thank you guys for, responding to that. And it's not too late. You guys can continue responding, and we'll answer questions throughout the show. But we're going to go ahead and just kind of get it kicked off. And like I said, I am Ebonie Speaks. I am your mental coach, your health coach, and also your CPR coach. And you guys can reach me here at Meek Minds or on my website, www.eboniespeaks.com, or follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Ebonie Speaks. And life is what I am about, and life is what I speak, and life is what I like to teach, because life is very important to me. And we're going to go ahead and let Miss Ticily get the talking. As you can see, my voice is gone, so she's going to do a lot of talking. She didn't know that today. She didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Do I need to have that time?
You can. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. But, yeah, she's going to do a lot of talking. But I have my tea.
All right.
So hopefully it won't go out completely.
Let's hope not. No. Because we want to hear your voice, too.
Look, you gonna hear it ugly or not, I'm talking.
Right.
All right, so go ahead and just kind of tell us about yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah. So I'm Dr. Ticily Medley, or Dr. T. I am a psychologist here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and my specialty right now is life coaching.
Okay.
I have been in higher education for several years. I think it's been about 20 years or so.
Okay.
And so my history in higher education has informed a lot of the work that I do. I'm also licensed as a professional counselor and marriage and family therapist.
Awesome. Y'all
So,
heard that? Marriage and family.
Yeah, the
marriage
coaching,
and
right,
family.
and family.
Marriage.
Then family. Right. So the coaching that I do a lot of times is very relational. It's informed by systems approaches and looking at how people interact with the people that they care about a lot of times.
And we definitely need that.
Yes, I know. Right? And so also with that, I kind of focus on what I like to call superpowers, and changing people's narratives around their superpowers, and really helping people to align their life
Back it up.
with their values.
Superpowers.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. Don't mean to interrupt, but superpowers.
Yeah.
What is superpowers?
So, we all have some sort of superpower.
Okay.
Many of us have more than one,
Uh-huh.
right? But a lot of times we either are not aware of what our superpower is.
Okay.
We discount our superpower. Our superpower is the thing that makes us unique, the thing that connects us to other people. So one of my superpowers, the main one that I like to focus on, is my ability to take things that people think are complex and make them more simple, more digestible for people to understand.
Okay.
So that they can kind of take it in, and something that you may have been a little resistant to at first, I'll explain it, and you're like, oh yeah, that actually does make sense. Right, yeah.
Okay.
So we all have something like that that makes us special, makes us unique, and is our connection to the world.
Oh, I'm gonna go around. I have a superpower. Like, I'm gonna go home with my husband. I have a superpower.
Yeah,
Don't play
you
with
do.
me.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not Superwoman. I have a superpower.
Right.
To
There
go
you
with
go.
that being Superwoman.
Yeah.
I like that. I
Mhm.
like that superpower.
Yeah.
You just don't know how. You just. I have never heard
Use
of that word.
Yes,
Yeah.
take it. Take it.
Superpower.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, your approach to helping people as far as their health and that's your superpower. Plus, you have other ones. So
Okay.
speaking obviously is a superpower, and usually it's, pretty customized. Like, you don't just speak to people, but you touch people, you connect with them emotionally,
Okay.
right? So, you can make
Y'all
a list
heard
of your
that?
superpowers.
#superpower, Dr. Ticily. Go ahead and hashtag.
Go
Let's
ahead
go
and
ahead and start
hashtag
that.
that, yeah.
#superpower. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked
Mhm, mhm,
it. We gonna do some icebreaker questions.
Okay.
I like to play games. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
That's the kid in me. Everyone got a little kid in them, and this is the kid in
Okay.
me. So, don't look at my questions.
Okay,
Don't
I'm not
look at my
looking. I'm
questions.
not
Don't look at my questions. All right. So, first question
Mhm.
is country girl or city girl? And tell us why.
Oh, ooh, wait. So I would say I'm more of a city girl.
Okay.
Can I ride the fence? Can I be like half and half?
Look at you.
I'm a little bit more of a city girl, and the main reason why is I don't like being hot and I don't like bugs.
And you stay in Texas.
And so, I grew up in the country, and so I can do without that most days. So I'm a little bit more of a city girl.
She said she's still gonna struggle a little bit.
A little
When it
bit,
comes to
because
food, you country
yeah,
girl.
exactly. I like a little bit of red soda and watermelon on a summer day, so.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
ain't strawberry, it's red. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes,
So,
yes. Okay, well then, let's see. What is like a greatest accomplishment thus far, like present day, that you can think of?
Ooh, that's hard.
And you can't hit the button and say pass.
Okay, I can't pass. Really, I feel like my greatest accomplishment so far has just been being a parent. And, it sounds kind of cliche, but I was in an interview a few years ago, and one of the questions that was asked was, well, I used to be a psychology instructor. Well, technically, I still am part-time. A psychology instructor, and so one of the classes that I taught was human development, right? So you learn all about, from birth to death, what humans go through, how we change. And so one of the questions was, what was that like, and did the knowledge that you had about human development impact you once you actually had a kid? And honestly, it did. So, it really made me, one, realize why understanding some of that stuff was so important, but it also helped me to see how, there's a lot of things that you can write in a book, but real life can be different. You know what I'm saying? So you can learn parenting techniques and, how to create this perfect child. But in reality, life is just life. And you just have to learn how to expect the unexpected when it comes to kids. And they really push your vulnerabilities. We have to be okay with being vulnerable and saying I'm sorry and making mistakes.
Really
and I'm a perfectionist, so I'll tell people that, yes, all day long, unfortunately. But having a child really, stretches that part of you.
Yeah.
So for me, that's really been my biggest accomplishment, because it has really forced me to grow so much. Yeah, they say there's no book on parenting, right? There really is not. Like, even if you know the theory behind it, the practicality of it and the actual following through is so much different.
And that's what I like that you said that whenever, because I teach CPR.
Mhm.
So I tell people, actually teaching CPR versus doing CPR is way different.
Right.
I can teach you, the guidelines on what to do, how to do, but when you're actually doing it, it's way different.
You got all these emotions. Ooh.
Yeah. So, and I tell them, I said, the only way you get good at it is by practicing, but who wants to practice?
Right.
But at the same time, you want to know what to do in case for those situations, because CPR is not scheduled. You know, you just can't say, oh, you need CPR today, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not scheduled, so you need to be ready to do it at any moment, any second of your life. Just always be, you know, prepared to do it.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome. Yeah.
Very simple.
Even though there is a book on parenting. No.
Yeah.
And I always tell parents, I say, you're not a parent until you get boo-booed on or peed on. Then you're a parent.
Right.
You are a parent. If that has not happened to you, you are not officially a parent.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, no, you're not a parent yet. Just wait. And they're like, I get spit up on. No. Until you have to change your clothes with your baby.
Right.
You're not a parent. All right, so say there was a crayon box.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed one more color in that crayon box. What color would you add to that crayon box? A moment of silence.
Okay. So I like to follow rules. So, so if I only had to choose one color, it would be blue. But ideally, if you didn't give me any restrictions, I would. You remember those crayons that would have like different colors inside of them?
They
So
were kind of
that-
like little fat, look like what they kind of.
Yeah, there's kind of like like it would have different
Okay,
colors
you
where
know
you
what?
could, you turn it on this side.
Get on the fence.
Well, you know what, the therapist in me, whenever I was teaching, my students would always ask questions, I'd be like, well, it depends. And they got tired of me saying it depends. But really it does, because no two people are alike, no
Right.
two situations are alike.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to have the ability to use whichever color is applicable for that situation. So I want a little rainbow crayon. And since you didn't tell me I couldn't in your
You're right. I didn't give you any rules.
Yeah. But that's why, because I like to be prepared. So,
Yeah. Miss Perfectionist.
See,
Yes.
you're learning. There you go. Yeah.
All right, so let's break it all the way down. Let's get a little girly.
Okay.
If you had to be a type of dress, what type of dress would you be?
A type of dress. Ooh, that's a tough one.
And I know some of you ladies out there watching, what type of dress would you want to be?
Right.
Hear
So,
these answers.
if I had to be a dress, now I would say I am not a girly girl, and so I don't like dresses.
Okay.
And I grew up, initially I grew up in an old school church, and I think I was like one of the first people to try to wear some pants up in there.
And everybody came to church. You was like, why everybody looking at me?
So yeah, dresses are not my choice. But if I had to wear one, it would be a long cotton dress, because I need to be comfortable. I need to be cool, because we're in Texas.
I need that.
And it would kind of flow a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't really want like the fitted all up on me type of dress. That's just not my style. So yeah, it would be cotton, comfy, cool.
That's what
long. You know what
That's what
I'm
I'm like. I'm like, I'm not a girly girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that tight fit, gotta put on a girl. I
See,
got time for all that.
yeah,
Don't have time for it. Don't have time for it. Last question.
Okay.
Now this one right here, I want you to think about it real hard.
Okay.
Now, once we get done with this show,
Mm-hmm.
if you was to walk outside
Mm-hmm.
and you saw a lottery ticket on the ground,
Ooh.
$10 million. I'm speaking it into existence.
Amen.
You saw it on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do about work? Just go ahead. Don't tell the truth, and don't say it depends. No, it don't depend.
No, this don't depend.
That money.
Well, you know what I'm doing? I'm calculating in my head how much longer would I stay.
Oh my goodness.
Because I would stay a little bit, so I would call HR on Monday and be like, okay, so if I put in my 2-week notice, like, what does my retirement look like? So I would check that first.
You calculated all
And see, how much longer I would need to stay for maximum benefit.
And make
But
sure.
I would definitely make plans to exit the bill.
Say I am exiting the premises. I am. You don't have to escort me off. I will
you said
exit
10
on my
million,
own.
right? Not just
10.
1 million?
No, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't doing no little one.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, one ain't
That ain't gonna get you nothing after you
uh-uh.
pay all the taxes.
No.
Like, yes.
Well, you say then you had 1 million, you end up with 100,000. I thought I had 1 million. Yeah, we gonna go ahead and do 10 million.
I have student loans to pay, and as well as some other stuff,
Yeah.
college funds.
Absolutely.
So I would calculate first. So you know, be
And make sure
intentional
that it
about-
ain't no fraud.
Exactly.
You go in HR, I'm not coming back, and you go and try to get that ticket.
Right, yeah.
It ain't real.
Yeah, I would visit the lottery commission first just to
So make
verify.
sure,
Yes.
make sure y'all don't go in there and the HR acting a fool. And the ticket ain't even real. You done
Right.
messed up.
You done messed up
You done
now.
messed up. You done burnt that bridge.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, you done burnt that bridge.
So yeah, I would make for sure before having that conversation with HR.
Good.
I share a little bit with you too, since you know you're the whole reason I'm here, right?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm
You
talking
gotta
about.
share the love. I would be like, oh, Ebony, I wouldn't tell you how much I won though. I'm gonna bless you.
You sure right? You can't say how
You
much.
can't tell.
No, because then I start calculating. She won 10
She
million.
could have gave me, you know, yeah.
She could have gave me half.
Right.
You right. That's all right. A little bit. I take it.
Yeah.
I take it. I thank you for that. See, I done spoken into existence.
Amen.
I hope you hit on something or find something.
Right. One of us needs to
One
find
of
that
us.
ticket. Yes.
Good. All right, so we're going to jump on into talking about some of these stigmas that we
Okay.
have. And I just want to start off by, I know I have a lot of fun, but mental health is important to me.
Mhm.
It just a little bit background about me for people who don't know. I suffered through the mental health issues whenever I developed my heart condition after giving birth to my son. I had that depression, and I faked it. Like that's what I did. I did those cries at night when no one was around, everyone was asleep. Or I did those silent cries in the shower. I just didn't sing in the shower by myself. I did those cries in the shower,
Yeah.
and I faked it. And I see that it didn't do any justice for me, because at the end of the day, it was exhausting. And I knew for myself that it was a lie. My happiness was a lie, even though my family was my happiness. But it was something that was still inside of me that I wasn't happy about, because I had this condition that I was mad. I was angry inside, and I didn't know how to express it, because, we're taught to be strong, and we're taught to basically put a Band-Aid on and keep on going.
Right.
And that's basically what I was doing in the daytime. I would put that Band-Aid on like everything was fine, and deep down inside it wasn't. And I thank God that I was able to break free of that, and that I did have, people that I could go and talk to, not just family members, but, even my doctors. I could go to them and I could talk to them about my depression, my anxiety, and, things that was going on with me. And and a lot of people don't know this, and this is like the first time that I'm actually going to share this, is that whenever I had my mental breakdown, I was coming out of it, and then I called it a relapse, because of the fact that I ended up getting pregnant again, and I wasn't supposed to get pregnant again, because it was fatal.
Yeah.
So I ended up, sorry if I started crying, it's really still emotional. I ended up having to have a medical abortion. So it kind of like told me all the way back down,
Right.
and I had to just, I don't know, it was like a feeling that, for one, it's my religion, like, I don't believe in abortions, and like, I dealt with this, like, it's my life, like, do I have this abortion? Or like, it was like in my mind, I was like, am I giving up on my faith? Because
Right.
I'm going to have to have this abortion. Am I not believing in God? And I'm like, I believe in God. I know what my faith is. But it's like, or will I be selfish if I try to have this baby, and I already have 3 children, and then something happens to me, and my children and my husband's left without a mother and a father.
Right.
I mean, a mother and a wife.
Right.
So it was like, all these emotions were just coming back at me. And that's why I tell people, depression, you're not exempt from depression.
Right.
You, with me, with going through everything, I learned how to deal with depression and not let it take over my life, because it was starting to take over.
Yes.
And so, yeah, and it will,
Mhm.
and it will. So that's what I like to do, like with my coaching, as far as the mental side. Like I tell people, you're not exempt from it.
Mm-hmm.
It will sneak up on you. But with my coaching, I teach you how to learn how to not so much deal with it or cope with it, because I don't want to say you just cope with it, because it's still like you putting a Band-Aid on
Mhm.
it. But you learn tools and skills in order to come out of it, so you don't let it take over your life.
Right.
So those are like the things that I like to talk about when it comes to like my mental coaching, and and then with the life coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Life coaching, is so broad.
Yes.
When it comes to life coaching, you can be a life coach, like you were saying, in relationship, marriage, and and families and things. And you can be a life coach with giving advice. You can be a life coach, like it's so broad.
Yes.
And that's what I love about it, because you're not just down to one thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone, it doesn't fit just everyone. One thing
Right.
does not fit
Not
everyone.
restricted. Yeah.
And life coaching is not a diet. When you're on a diet, you have to stick to this diet.
Right.
And it's like with life coaching, you can expand out and and touch the people that that understand you understand them, and that's what I like about it. I don't know, it's touching.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that really is a benefit of it.
it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes with clients, both of us, snot nose crying, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be helping you, and you helping me. Like, it's like I learn I learn from my clients.
Yeah.
That's just it. Like, I don't think that I'm too above you, and that's what I love about life coaching. You're not above anyone,
Right.
because you're going through life right along with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about those stigmas. And
Yes.
break those stigmas, because it's out there.
It's out there. Yes.
And people are afraid to talk about or in the need, or saying, if they need a life coach.
Yeah.
They take it as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing weak about asking for help.
Right.
Nothing. And so we're going to get into some of those stigmas.
Okay.
So I said I wasn't going to do all this talking.
You did say that. But we knew you would anyway.
Of course, I'm able to speak. Come
Right,
on.
exactly. Yes.
All right, we'll let you talk a little bit about it.
So yeah, there's so much there. I think just kind of generally, life coaching often seems to have a little bit less stigma than counseling does or psychotherapy does in some ways. But I think one of the things that I hear all the time now is, well, everybody's a life coach, which kind of like, well, everybody's doing it, and so the people who are doing it aren't that good. Which I think is unfortunate, because like you said, there is a lot of benefit out there with life coaching if it is someone who knows what they're doing, and there's some value that they can add to you in your life.
And that's why it's important that even though you are a life coach or anything like that, put some education behind that.
Yeah, that helps.
Don't just, and that's why I went to school for, to get certified as a health coach, because I was like, I want people to know that I'm serious about this, and I'm not just, I'm a health coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a mental coach. No, and I put school into this, and you go to orientations, you go to different things that's going to, brighten everything, and you learn more and more and more. You just don't sit at home like, I'm a life coach. I mean, I get it,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. People are, just able to just do that at the same time. And don't get me wrong, not saying that you go to school for it makes you that much smarter.
Right.
But to me, it's like that's just my way of letting people know that I'm serious about it.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah, that I've invested in it.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's one of the I think the drawbacks, I'll say, when it comes to counseling and psychotherapy is there's a lot of counselors who've never been to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that devalues the profession. If you can't say it's valuable if you've never taken advantage of it. Or how can you help a person become more comfortable with a process that you've never been through, right? So for me, I think it's important, if you're going to go into the counseling profession, to actually experience it yourself. And some graduate programs require it and some don't. But the same way when it comes to coaching, either, have training or to have gone through your own coaching so that you understand what that experience is like and what you have to offer. And so, yeah, hopefully practitioners will see the value in that of going through a process themselves so that they can help other people. But generally thinking about these stigmas, I think some of it comes from just a lack of knowledge, just a basic, lack of knowledge about services. What does counseling look like? What do I have to do? How is it going to help me? Even down to the practitioners. Like, for example, I have 2 licenses. People often don't know the difference between, well, what does a counselor do versus what does a marriage and family therapist do? Which you got a little bit more information about that one. But what's the difference between a psychologist and a counselor, or a psychiatrist and a psychologist, or a social worker, right? There's so many options.
Go ahead and break it on down.
It's hard for people to know. And, even people within the profession are like, well, what's the difference between social work and,
you're absolutely
So
right.
when you have a lack of information, there is fear there. I don't know what that is or how to choose, right? And so, those of us in the profession really have to take it upon ourselves to help educate the community about what those options are and how best to help, right? What fits that particular person's situation. So that lack of knowledge, I think, is a really big piece of it.
We do need to just kind of, I don't know, I want to word this the right way. People, they quick to go to Google. And think Google has the answers now. I ain't gonna lie to you, when it comes to school, Google do got some answers.
Google got some good answers too. Look.
Yeah, now when it comes to school, you can find some good answers to help you out of those problems. But, people go to Google and, they Google in stuff and, they say, a life coach, they might find one and say life coach is someone that helps you with, just gonna throw something crazy out there, learning how to walk your dog the right way. And then they look at it like, I don't need help with learning how to walk my dog, so okay, that's not for me. It's like, well, that was the only thing that popped up,
Right. That's not the only thing that could help you with.
Yeah, like it can help you out with a lot. It's just that it's just like women. When you go into a store, you try to find the right clothes. You have to go and search for it. Yeah. You want to look nice, and you're going to try on those clothes to see if they fit you right. So that's the same thing with trying to find a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, or a mental coach, or anything like that. Yes. You're going to have to search for it, try it out.
Some research. And how many people test drive more than one car before they buy a car?
Right.
You can do the same thing with a counselor.
You sure can.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all counselors are not the same. We have lots of different backgrounds, lots of different training, lots of different life experiences. Yes. And so it's just like any relationship. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You jump in with that person and it's not a good fit, find somebody else.
Jump out.
Right.
Is that
but some of us have difficulty ending relationships that aren't healthy. So
there she goes.
Which is why you should probably be in counseling, but that's a whole other. We'll get a little too deep with that one. But yeah, find somebody else. Whether it's your family practitioner, an OBGYN, a psychotherapist. Yes. If that person is not meeting your needs and providing value, find somebody else.
But it's important that you get that help. Right. That's number one. Own it, embrace it. We all need some help in something. I don't care what it is. We need help in something. Right. That's going back to my daddy. That's pastor. He always spell it. He say, I need some HELP. All right. We all need help. That's right. So, hey, we all need that HELP. So, just find it. Look for it. Don't just look for a quick fix. Right. Just go out. You on Google anyway. Right. So go ahead and keep Googling. Don't just look for that one stop shop. Oh, that one don't fit me. So you just cross all of it out. And then you sitting at home doing what I was doing, crying at night, putting a Band-Aid over it, trying to fix it on your own, wondering why you can't fix it on your own. But yeah, it's that circle. You just keep on going around and around and around. Stop trying to get that quick fix and invest it. It's an investment.
It is an investment. It's an investment of sometimes financial funds. It's an investment of time, definitely. It's an emotional investment. So yeah.
People, they don't want to invest, but it's your life. Right. You're investing in your life. This is not my life. This is your life. Put that investment in your life. And then not even that. If you have spouse or, children or anything like that, you're helping them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they want to see a happy mommy, a happy
Right,
daddy.
healthy, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and they want to see that.
Mhm.
So, you know, invest in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, last week we talked about that fear, about people having, you know,
Mhm.
that fear of opening up,
Right.
just the fear of, like you say, the
If you're telling our story.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you just, everyone closed down.
Mhm.
You know, you have that, and it's about speaking out, and that's, speaking out
Yeah.
is the new medicine.
Yeah,
You know,
it really is.
speak out about it, and because you don't know, you're helping someone else,
Mhm. You very well
and
could.
that is so true. You are helping someone else, and I have
Yeah.
learned so much throughout this whole journey of being a mental coach and life coach and health coach, and I mean, like, it's just so much of just opening up, and I'm just in amazement
Yeah.
of everything that I'm able to learn, just not by just going to different networking or different seminars, but by just clients,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what it's about. It's about helping out.
Yeah, but you know that fear is real. That fear of telling your story and
Mhm.
people's perceptions, like, oh, what will they think of me when I start telling them
Don't
this
care
stuff?
about it
And,
anymore.
You know, I think particularly for ethnic minorities, some of that fear is real too.
Yeah.
You know, when you come in and you start telling people stories about your upbringing or your current life, and then now you've got a CPS report because this counselor is thinking you're abusing your kids, which I've seen it happen.
Mhm.
It's things like that. Or now you find yourself involuntarily committed to an institution
Mhm.
because of you decided to open up
Open
and
up,
try to
yeah.
get some help. So I think those are real fears sometimes that
Yes.
people have. And part of that is, you know, helping professionals to be more informed and to be more culturally affirming, which is one of the topics that I speak on and train on quite a bit, because it's so important. If African Americans and other people of color are going to get the mental help and physical help that they need, we need practitioners who are culturally informed.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because, you know, just because I say, you know, I whip my kids,
Mhm.
someone else, like you say,
Right.
you have CPS knocking on your door, and it's like, well,
Right.
in your mind, you're thinking that I'm like beating them.
Right.
And it's
Well,
like,
you know, often that's the word we use.
Yeah.
I had to beat
I
my
had to
kids
beat my
last
kids.
night.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
a person who's not familiar with your culture hears that as, what? You beat your kids? There goes a CPS report, right? And it's like, what?
typing. Yeah.
I've seen it happen. That's why I can speak
you're
on
right.
it.
You're
So,
right.
yeah, I mean, sometimes there is a real fear there. And for many of us, we don't know how to find practitioners who look like us. They're out there. We're out there. Let me tell you.
Hey.
You know, practitioners
Hello.
who look like us, who we feel like understand us.
Mhm.
And depending on where people are located, it may be harder to find therapists who look like you.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's real problems out there with us getting access to help, and I think that's part of the stigma. If I'm afraid that I'm not going to really be able to get the help that I need,
Mhm.
then yeah, I'm just not going to
Shut down.
reach out for that
Yeah,
resource.
I'm gonna shut down.
Yeah.
And just fake it till I make it.
So I make it, yeah.
Yeah, and which is not healthy.
It's not. But I wanted to touch on something else that you said, because you mentioned your dad, right? Because Christianity is another piece of that stigma for us, unfortunately. And I've seen a couple of therapists post this more recently, like, you can talk to God and a counselor, right?
Yes.
Both can happen at the same time.
Yes.
So they're not mutually exclusive. Just because you go to a counselor doesn't mean you don't have faith. It doesn't mean you don't believe in God.
Yes.
You can do both.
Yes.
And in fact, I encourage you to do both,
both,
right? Because there are
yes.
things a counselor can't help you with that only God can.
Yes.
And there are things that, well, I can't say God can help you,
'Cause
but your pastor may not be able to help you
Yeah.
with certain things that a counselor
Yes,
actually can,
correct.
right?
Yes,
How many
yes.
pastors actually have any kind of mental health training? Some do,
Right.
but most don't.
Yeah.
So you've got to use both of those resources together if you believe, if
That's
you are a
awesome.
Christian.
I'm
and
glad,
do
I'm glad
both.
you hit on that. My sister actually sent me a message with that. You can have a pastor and you can have a counselor.
Mhm.
You know, it is okay. And it was on a church billboard.
Mm.
So,
Which is
so,
awesome.
Yeah, because you can have both. Like you say, you recommend that you do. Look, for family reunions, y'all can't cook that food. One person in the kitchen cooking all that food. You gonna need some help, right?
I love it. Yeah,
you gonna need some
Right,
help.
right.
Same thing with your life.
with your life.
You need some help. It's nothing wrong with needing help with your life.
Mhm.
Like, get out there. The resources are out there.
Mhm.
You know, but it's just a matter of you guys finding them. And
Right.
you have two of them right here, right now.
Right, and it's just like we said, like if you are of faith, if you identify as Christian, find a therapist who shares those values. They are
Yes.
out there,
They
right?
are.
If that's what's important to you, then you
Yes.
can also find a therapist who has those values.
Yes. All right, you guys, we are going to take a little break. I want you guys to continue putting on those questions, and we'll answer those questions once we come back from our break. So sit tight, hold tight, don't go anywhere. Just a little.
Don't leave.
No, don't leave. Don't leave, because we're still doing a breakthrough. Don't leave. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Talk to you later. Guys, I know that was a quick 5 minutes.
Right.
As we all know, technology, we had that.
It does what it wants to,
It
right?
does, and we have no control over it. So, hey, it's man-made. Man-made, it makes errors.
Mhm.
So, hey, it happens. But we did have, I know, that's why we kind of take the breaks anyway, just so we can kind of answer the questions that's going on, because I don't like to talk and try to look at my phone at the same time. But I'm gonna go ahead and answer a couple of questions we had. One saying, why do you think people don't speak out on needing assistance? So
Well, so some of the things we've already said, right? Believing that, you know, it's an unchristian thing to do, to need that sort of help. Sometimes I think people don't know that they need help.
Yes.
Like, you know, I think so much of our trauma and dysfunction has been normalized.
Yes.
We're like, well, you know, everybody goes through that. You know, like, I'm supposed to get help for that? Or there's people
Yes.
that can help with that? And so, you know, someone who's crying all the time, they're just, well, I'm sad, I'm stressed. Like, they don't necessarily recognize there's an actual mental disorder here. If you're crying so much, you can't get out of bed and take a shower, or you can't get out of bed to go to work. That's an actual mental health disorder, right? We just feel like, oh, well, that's just life, right? My mama went through the same thing, like that's just how it is. And so I think sometimes, again, that lack of information, that we just think that's normal, or we don't know that there's something out there that can actually help us with that particular problem. And specifically with depression, it's actually called the common cold of mental illness, because it's likely to hit more of us than not. So many of us will experience those things that, you know, from mild to severe, at some point in our lives. Like, if you just live, you're probably going to experience something that you just can't manage, even if it's just for a short period of time. And that's when, you know, reaching out for help is okay.
And I like talking about depression because of the fact that I'm trying to speak out about depression, because I want people to stop using depression just in a sentence. You know, I'm depressed, and they keep walking. Like, it's like a word now, just, I'm depressed, or I got anxiety. And it's like, no one take you seriously, because it's just part of what you say all the time. And it's like, stop just, you wake up, oh, I'm depressed, and you keep on moving. Like, no, it's not just a word. It has a meaning behind it. You know, it's not just people use it as it's just a word, but it's serious. It has,
and it can have consequences.
And it's a serious word. So, you know, I ask that people, if you are depressed or if you have anxiety, if you really do truly have it, you need to reach out to people.
Yes.
Stop making it your everyday word, just in conversation. You get on the phone with your friend, girl, I'm so depressed, but I'm cooking some pork chops tonight. Like, you just said that word without even, like, you just
Right.
flow right off your mouth. And, like,
Right.
no. Stop just throwing that word around. Like, it has some meaning to it, so just stop throwing that word around,
Yeah.
Respect the word, basically.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Respect it. I had another question. We kind of hit on it too, saying, why are people in fear of trusting the process? And like you were saying, like we were saying, about the education background,
Yeah.
because so many people are just saying that they life coaches, and people are starting to. I mean, I'm actually glad. See, this is how you take a negative and flip it. I'm actually glad that people are starting to say the word more. So whenever you say that you are a life coach, now I don't say that I'm a life coach. I say that I'm a coach that deals with depression.
Mm-hmm.
So like I flip that word around because people, they kind of make that word a negative thing. Like,
Right.
you say you're a life coach, they roll their eyes like, oh, here go another one.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Full of talk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, oh, you just gonna get paid to give advice.
Right.
No, it's way deeper than that.
Mhm.
I flip it around and say, no, I'm a coach of depression. I'm a coach of mental illness. I'm a coach of food or health.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm a coach. I don't just say I'm a life coach.
Right.
So I flip that word around. So that's why I think people, kind of fear that process because of it.
And two, therapy is not necessarily easy.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about, I hear this more often now, breaking generational curses and things like that. But if you're really digging into the things that can make you healthier, it's not always easy or comfortable.
It's not.
And it does take work. It does take effort. And so I think there can be fear about that too.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't want to open.
Like, it's going to be too painful for me. It's going to be so uncomfortable. And again, what if I never get the answers that I need?
Yeah.
Or what if I don't get better? Like, I don't just want to cry every time I see my therapist, but it doesn't get better, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, those kinds of things, I think, make it to where people don't really follow through. Even those who may go see a counselor, at the first sign of trouble, they turn around.
Yeah.
Because it's easier just to give up on it than to push through, right? So all of us who've ever tried to lose weight, we eat healthy for like 2 days, or we work out for that first week, but as soon as, you know what I'm saying, we hit that plateau, we're like, oh, okay, I tried that, but it didn't work. Because it's difficult, you know what I'm saying? And it takes motivation, it takes intentionality, and you've got to have those qualities to push through and to know that it's worth pushing through.
Yeah, and it's a lifestyle change.
Right.
But just think about it, with you going through all of this, remember you had that, so your lifestyle, so think about it as this, you had that lifestyle of being depressed, angry, mad, broke up, and think about the years that you felt like that, and think about when you go see a counselor, how you're going to feel when you get done seeing that counselor. And you can just, I tell people to kind of think in the future. Some people say, I don't like to do that, what if thinking. But when it comes to counseling or life coaching, it's like, think about the future, think about where you want to be. And so therefore it keeps you moving towards something.
Right.
Versus, not thinking about nothing at all, you just stuck in that past, think about, and that's one of the difference between therapy is therapists, they bring up, the past of things because, they're healing, they're trying to heal. Versus, a coach, we're more in present day. We don't go far back and try, unless, that person want to open up to that.
Yeah.
But we're more present day and trying to help you fix what's going on with you right now to move you forward from that present moment to, to where you're trying to be versus trying to open up, past history and things like that. So that's one of the difference between, therapists and coaching. Not saying one is right or wrong. It runs different.
Because on what you need. And I tell a lot of people, typically mental health practitioners, their focus is on that mental health piece and usually things like symptom management. So if you have the depression, if you're crying so much that you can't get out of bed and go to work, they're focused on that symptom management and that mental health assessment to figure out what's going to help you get better. Whereas life coaching is more about being at a fairly stable place, but action oriented to reach that next higher level of whatever accomplishment or health is for you.
Okay. And I had another question. What's the best way to educate a needy population who refuses to think mental health is serious? Quotations. Black community.
Well, I think you have to make it relevant for people. I think you have to provide some of that information that breaks down the fear, the things that people don't know about that they're afraid of. So you've got to provide enough information to break down those walls, but you've got to make it relevant for people. If they don't feel like this applies to them, they're never going to take advantage of it.
Right.
If I don't think I'm overweight or unhealthy, why would I go on a diet? Why would I start eating healthy, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely got to take that particular population and say, how can I make this relevant for them? Because each population is going to be different.
Yeah, and you got to remember too that you can't fix everybody.
Yeah.
Some people, I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but hey, I'm gonna be real. Some people you just can't fix, and you just gotta.
Some people don't want to be fixed. I mean,
Yeah.
that's because it takes you wanting it for it to work.
Yeah, you're right. And some people want it, but it's something that's holding them back from it.
Right.
But then again, there's still some people that it just, you can't fix them.
Yeah.
And that's when us as being professionals, we have to know how to refer them to different people.
Right.
We have to know how to say, okay, we can't do it. So
You may need something.
you might,
Yeah.
we can't do
Right.
it, and we have to hold ourselves accountable to that. So we let y'all know that if we can't fix you, we're going to refer you to someone else that can fix you, because you came to us with the issue, and we want you to be healthy and get what it is that you need. So let's refer you to someone else versus, hey, I can't fix you, so it stops here.
Right.
No.
If I can help you. And I think too, from the perspective of the client, that we really need to approach this mental health like we do restaurants, right? Like if I go this happened to me recently. I went to this place and had some catfish, and I was like, I don't know why this person recommended this place to me.
That is not catfish.
But I didn't just stop eating catfish, right? The next time I'm gonna just go to another restaurant. And so I hear so many people who say, I tried that counseling and it didn't work, and that person didn't help me. Well, that was that person, or that was that particular point in your life. Try again, right? You just gonna stop eating catfish? Probably not, right? You're gonna go somewhere else and get some different pie or whatever. So, we've got to value our health in that same way. Again, like we talked about earlier, if that person wasn't a good fit, try it again.
Yes.
If your life is worth it to you, try it again.
Yes, if your life is worth it. Don't you guys want to be happy? And I'm not saying that we're always happy. We're women, number one. We're women. So that's how we can relate a lot. Everything is not always peaches and cream.
Right.
That's just bottom line. And don't think that, just because you see us that everything is happy. And I think that's where mental fear comes to. People think that because we are what we are us and we do what we do, that it's like, they happy and I don't want them to know anything negative about me because of the fact that they may look down on me.
Right.
And it's like, no, we have our problems too.
Yeah.
And luckily, when you're in this community, we can go to each other and talk to each other. And and we feedback and bounce back and accountability off each other. So don't think that, we wake up in the daytime and it's just like, my feet on the ground running.
Right.
We might get up in the morning like, I'm not feeling it
Not
today.
feeling it, yeah.
I'm just not feeling it today.
We're human too.
Yeah.
And honestly, perfection isn't the goal. Like that's not even the goal of going to counseling. Health is not perfection. So we often think that those things are the same thing. They're not synonymous. When we say healthy, we mean being in a good place, being able to understand and manage when you have tough times, being able to, when you're in a storm, recognize that this storm is gonna end.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Those kinds of things are what make you healthy, but it's not about reaching for perfection.
Yes.
I'm a perfectionist, I did say that. But it's not about, cognitively I know that nothing in life is going to be perfect. And going to counseling is not about reaching perfection.
Yes, I'm glad you said that about the healthy part, because of the fact that whenever I was going through my health coaching, I realized that you can eat right, you can do whatever right, but if this right here ain't together, it doesn't even matter, because you can eat healthy and like you can start losing that weight and then get depressed. What you think that what you're gonna do? You're gonna start eating up stuff that go to anxiety eating. So if this right here ain't together, so that's what a lot of my health and that's how I incorporated my health with my mental, because I was like, this has to be together first before you can look sexy. It's a lot of models out there, a size 0, 2,
And they're
3.
still not happy.
And they're not happy.
And they're not happy.
No, and they're not. We call those skinny fat. That's what we call them. They skinny but got high cholesterol. That's everything wrong with them.
Right.
I ain't saying you ain't cute though, because you are in the size 2.
Right.
But still, it's nothing healthy if this is not healthy. And it begins here. It begins with the mental. It's right. That has to be healthy in order, and you have to love yourself.
Yes.
If you don't love yourself, no one else will. And that falls off of you. You can walk in a room and have confidence and everyone know it, and you can walk in a room with low self-esteem and everyone knows it.
True.
So,
yeah. And even that, is not about thinking that you're perfect, right?
Yes.
It's about, hey, I know, my whatever, I got 2 different color skin tones, but I'm still confident. You know what I'm saying? It's about being able to accept that those imperfections that you have and knowing that that's just a part of being human.
yes. Ladies, I'm gonna give y'all a good tip. Whenever you walk into a room and you're nervous, this is one of the things. I told you I like to have fun. I try to relate things. Whenever I walk into a room and I know it's a crowded room, I pick one chair. I pick a chair and I say, I'm gonna walk to that chair and I'm gonna sit down and cross my legs like I own this room. So yeah, I pick that one chair and I'll walk to that chair, sit down and cross my legs, and I just sit there. And you can just feel everyone looking at you, and that right there, it just empowers me, like all eyes are on me, because I just sat in this chair. All I did was sit in the chair.
Right, like you sitting on the throne, right? You just
all I did was sit in the chair, but yeah, I walked like I had my mind set on that one chair, so I didn't think about no one looking at me, or if my walk, if my walk could have been off, they could have been looking at me because I didn't know how to walk.
Right.
But it didn't matter to me. I picked that one thing, and that's where that built my confidence. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's just little bitty things like that would boost your confidence. And and I had clients tell me, they did that, and they giggled inside when they sat down, because they was like, yeah, I feel everybody looking at me. And I was like, how did it make you feel? They was like, you feel good inside. And I mean, I just try to relate little bitty simple things and make them like big things, because you don't have to walk into a room with like this big ball gown and then all eyes on you. You don't have to do all of that. You ain't got the money to do it.
Right.
You ain't got to do it. Yeah, it's a chair in the room. Go sit in that chair.
Right.
So try to do things like that.
I like that. I'll do that next time I get to sit on my throne, right?
And that got me to sitting at the front of classrooms or whenever I go places. Like if it's an open chair in the front, my kids get mad.
Oh, I think they do.
Oh, they get mad at me. Oh, they get mad. Why we gotta sit up here? I'm like, maybe because mama's walking up here. That's why we sitting up here. So it got me to actually sit at the front versus sitting at the back, because we completely sit at the front. It just wasn't gonna happen. See, must have willpower and desire to want change. Change is scary but necessary. So true. Ms. Owens, it is necessary. I mean, you change from a child to an adult.
Yeah.
And it's necessary. It has to be done. Like I take this back. Your body changed from a child to an adult.
Right, but not necessarily the mind.
Yeah, not necessarily the mind, but it's something that has to be done. Your body had to change. It evolved with you. So, I mean, that's what you did. So it's necessary.
Yeah. And that's the cognitive piece too, the even knowing that you should embrace change and looking forward to change. As what's today gonna bring, right? What new thing might I be exposed to today?
Yeah.
Versus like really how bored would we be if every day was the same?
And if
I
everybody
know I
would
would
say,
be. Right.
you, no, I'm not waking up today.
Now
I
look like
know
my
what it
bank
look like.
account if it were larger to look.
Yeah. Now you're talking. Look, they go to now it depends.
Yes.
Now you talking. Yeah, you right. I'm not waking up today. I already know what today look like. It's cloudy outside. She got on black. He got on red.
Right.
I'm not getting up today.
Same old thing.
Yeah. So yeah. And I like that.
Yeah, gotta embrace it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's awesome. You guys, I thank you for, sending in questions. I thank you for tuning in live, talking with us. But the questions don't stop. You can continue messaging us, Facebooking us. Both of us, we're on Facebook, we're on Messenger, we're on Instagram. Look, we on social media.
Right, we out there.
Yeah, we out there. So the questions don't stop. Feel free to ask those questions, and don't be afraid. This is what this was about, having that breaking through that stigma, because the stigma's out there, but it's time to break that cycle.
Right.
Don't settle for my mom went through it, so this is part of me. This is what I go through. Well, if your mama was poor, you just want to be poor too.
Amen.
No, you want that. You want more for yourself. If your mama didn't have no teeth, you just want no teeth too. No, you
Right.
want teeth.
Right. And because we're out here, like, don't. Okay, cool. Your girlfriend is cool for asking questions, or your sister-in-law, or your brother-in-law, your homeboy. But there's folks out here that got information, got trained with school, backed up by their dad. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the information to help you be healthier.
To let you know we're serious about
access
it.
the resources. That's what we're here for.
Yes, resources. Access the resources. Hashtag access the resources. Yes, but again, I thank everybody for tuning in. And like I said, the questions don't stop. You can reach me at meetminds.com, ebonyspeaks.com. You can reach me on Instagram, Facebook at Ebony Speaks. You can reach Miss Dr. Ticily Medley on Instagram, Facebook, and
Twitter, New Day, New Day Psych Coach, NEWDAYPSYC, COACH, New Day Psych Coach.
yeah. Until next time, love you all. Bye.
Bye.